Hey guys, what's up? It's Preach, as always. Been a busy week. I only got to play 3 games tonight, but all 3 were a 5.0 or better kill death, and that led me to wanting to do this commentary for you. It's going to be a gameplay breakdown, kind of like the last video, but we're going to talk about playing a little bit slower, go through my mindset kind of just like we did in the last video, but just talk about how you playing slower, slowing down, taking your time, understand what's going on in the map, and not rushing into every situation is going to improve your KD and mine. So let's take a look at what's going on here. I'm trying to, stay out of that middle path on this map because there's a lot of people that camp on all of those head glitches. And there's just too many ways to watch right there. Now, if I had a sniper rifle, and if you look at my sniper gameplay, I go to the middle of the map and try to snipe right there often. But with a regular gun, there's just way too many ways to die if I get out here too much on these head glitches. Peek them, but I don't want to stay on them very long, and I definitely don't want to get my head out there around the corner of this rock too often because it's a good way to just get picked off and be an easy death. So, the biggest thing here, that guy knows I was shooting from in there, so I'm not going to push him that way, but I'm going to pay attention and see what happens if my teammate behind me gets in a gunfight. He does. I see that he loses, so just pre-aim this, know that this guy's coming. It's just such an easy kill right there. Things like that are things to pay attention to. Watch your mini-map. There's potentially a guy back there. See what happens if your teammate wins that fight or not. Right there, I was completely unaware there was a guy there. He wasn't on the mini-map or anything like that. And so, that's just a tough situation. I probably should have been more aware of what was going on, but I don't really know what to tell you about that one. So here, we spawned over here. Again, watching the mini-map, being aware of where these guys are. Peeking at the middle of the map, but I don't want to stay and hang out there because that is a death trap. The mesh mine plays, they're always just to cut off a lane. So, I'm not going to explain too much of what's going on with those. But here, we're spawning on this side of the map, so I want to try to wrap and watch what their side of the map is doing. When I get that kill there, I don't want to be too greedy and start pushing that direction too fast because I don't want that guy to come back for that revenge kill and catch me off guard sprinting. So I'm going to loop around, make a longer trip out of it, and see what happens, see what we can come up with. So here, I see the guy off in the distance, I knew he seen me, so the goal was to just get out of there, change the angle of the fight to where hopefully he wouldn't know where I was at. And right here, this is just, a little bit of lucky shooting, but get behind cover, then jump up, maybe take a slightly different angle. So that's something, try to come out of your gunfights in angles that maybe the enemy is not necessarily expecting. You go back behind a head glitch, you don't have to, or behind cover, you don't have to wrap all the way around it. You don't have to pop back out the same way you were. Sometimes you can go over top. Just try to change things up and be a little bit unexpected if you can in those situations. So, my whole team's still spawning over here on this side. So try to wrap back to this if we can and see what's going on in their spawn. And I'm just, as I said before, this map for me, and everybody has a little different. I'm not saying you can never go to the middle of the map, but I'm telling you, for me, with a red gun, it's a death trap waiting to happen. Even if you get several kills, it's just a good way to die. And you want to try to stay alive. That's how you build up score streaks, and that's how you're overall going to end up with really, really good gameplays. These never took off and got great score streaks because I probably played it, a little too slow to be able to get the streaks. And some fluke things happen, here and there. But it's good kill-death ratios, really high KD games because of playing a little bit slower. Those kills are just watching the mini-map and making sure, and this is something you guys gotta look at doing if you don't do this already, is if you know where someone's going to be coming from momentarily, don't always just turn around and get ready for that gunfight, but try to get behind cover and prepare for that gunfight. So like a moment ago, inside the building, I saw that the guy was coming up the path, and instead of just turning around and pre-aiming that doorway, I ran behind the head glitch and then pre-aimed the doorway. So not only do I have the quickness and the gunfight advantage because I'm already aiming, but I also have cover in the fight.
Building barricade.
So a fight like that one right there that you just saw, something else you guys can work on if you don't do this, is if they're close to you, you don't have to necessarily aim down sights before you start shooting. So that guy came out of that doorway. I started hip firing and got shots in on him and then aimed down sights as I was doing that. And it allowed me to get bullets in a little bit quicker than him in that spur of the moment fight that caught both of us off guard. I'm not sure if this is the situation. Yeah, right here, this thing comes in here and I get it killed, but it's just not quite enough time to react to that. When I saw that coming in, I thought maybe I could time it and shoot it and destroy it before it caught me, and I was wrong. So the smarter play there would have probably just been jump out that window and get away from it and try to flank that guy. So right here, we're looking, my team is spawning over here. When your teammates are fighting somebody, sometimes you can get an easy kill, but because of getting focused in on that kill, I lost track of my back. Make sure you guys understand your surroundings. You don't always have to get in every gunfight. What I probably should have done right there is let my teammates have that fight. But as you can see, we went 20-4 there. That was my first match on for the day. It's a 5.0 KD that my team dominated, so props to my teammates there. I didn't have the highest score in the game, but I definitely had the highest KD, so we will take it. This match on Arsenal, as you can see, I'm clicking come in actually late to this match, and the score was already 6-9 when we started. Thought I could get an easy free kill on that right there, but it didn't quite work out. But without a sniper rifle, I don't want to go on that right side of the map too much, so I'm going to try to wrap around to the left over here. There's so many snipers and so many LMGs that post up and camp on the other side of that map that it's hard to win gunfights over there. If I'm sniping, I love that side, but red gunning, I don't necessarily like it. So I wrap around to this side quite often. I know this is their spawn, so I'm expecting people to come through here. What I didn't realize quite in time, even though I did actually get somebody here, was that I actually had teammates spawning over there. I should have seen that sooner, and that's something to definitely watch for on the minimap at all times. Watch for where your teammates are spawning. It'll give you a good idea of where the enemy's spawning, even if you don't have a UAV up. Here, just, peek that vent just for the sake of doing so. I wasn't sure if anything was there or not, but I had a teammate in there, so no need to worry. Paying attention to the minimap again, my team's spawning over on the other side, so I flip back here knowing this is their spawn, and that's a pretty easy kill when you go around that corner. They got their back to you. You can't beat that. Flank up this side. I'm still trying to play this left side in this middle building and not go on that other side too much, but I don't check my corners. So when I came out of that doorway, I should have looked left and right. If I was going right, I should have definitely peeked left right there. Could have seen that guy. He may have still got me because he was sniping, but it took him kind of a second to get that shot off. So I probably, if I had checked that way, would have been able to get the kill. So, you come out of somewhere, definitely check your corners, definitely check your angles. Don't make the mistake that I made right there. And here, counterintuitively, I try to go to this open side of the map, and it does exactly what I expected it to do. It gets me killed, which is why I wasn't doing it early. I probably should have won that gunfight, but it was just not smart for me to go to that area in the first place. So, as you can see, obviously coming back out, I'm going to try to go back to this middle and left-hand side again and push towards their spawn and see what we can work out. And again, mesh mine play, it's just to cover my back. If the spawn's flipped, somebody comes up through there and walks through that mesh mine, I'm going to know to start watching my back. But here I see my teammate get killed. He comes up as a blue skull on the map, so I know this guy's coming. Makes for an easy gunfight because I knew he was going to be there. Even though my shots weren't that great, I was prepared for that gunfight, and he was not. And that's a huge thing in this game. If you're prepared for the gunfight and they're not, you don't always have to be better on the sticks if you're just prepared for the fight. So So notice all these places I'm going, I pre-aimed that doorway, expecting someone to come through since this is their spawn. I really thought there was a door to my left right there, and I could leave through that, and I completely missed it. And so I look like a moron just walking into walls right there. But I see my teammate die on the skull out there, so I know there's people at this window. Wait on him to come out. Easy free kill, shooting him in the back. You can't beat stuff like that. And that's just all being aware of what's happening on your mini-map. And it's not always the red dots or looking at the enemies, but just seeing what happens with your teammates. Those blue skulls popping up can go a long way into telling you what's going on a map in Call of Duty. Right here, I struggle, and tell me, drop it in the comments below. Going to climb up certain ladders or jump up certain walls, I just fail to do it so many times. Right here, I see that these guys are fighting my teammates in this hallway, so I know they're going to have their back to me. So that is 2 easy kills jumping in that window right there, because all my teammates were in that hallway. Those guys were facing it. That's such an easy little flank right there to get the double kill. So again, pay attention to what's happening, where your teammates are in correlation with what's going on the mini-map. I probably spend, I would say,
ready to trap,
70 to 80% of my game. And yes, I'm just making that number up. It's a wild guess. But I would say that's probably pretty close. 70 to 80% of my game looking at the mini-map, and only 20 to 30% of my game looking at the regular screen. I am constantly looking up there and seeing what's going on. And eventually you learn your way around these maps so well that when you see the stuff on the screen on the mini-map, you know exactly where it's happening. You don't have to guess. That guy right there, I don't know how I didn't see him. I watched the full kill cam there because I was blown away at how I didn't realize that guy was there. So that was a bad play on my part. He didn't pop up on the mini-map until he started shooting me, and I didn't check that doorway well enough going for it. But again, still trying to stay on this side, wrap around. Saw that guy on the mini-map, and I used the drop shotting technique right there. It's not quite as effective in Black Ops 4 as it was previous CODs, but that's something you guys can try to add into your gameplay. You get into a gunfight that's one-on-one straight up and you have no cover. A strategy to try to win that gunfight is to just go prone, crouch or go prone in the middle of that gunfight, and they're going to have to try to drag on target while you do that, while you're still firing on target the whole time. And a lot of times you can win a gunfight that you might not necessarily win otherwise by doing so. So we're wrapping back this way because we spawned over there, but I don't know, our whole team is on this side of the map, but I see 2 guys firing and my teammate gets killed right there. I don't know where the other guy went right away, but this guy turned and faced me. Thankfully, he tried to drop shot, but I was still able to get the shots just because I had better cover. And then watching the mini-map, that's just an easy kill right there to finish that game off. So it's not a lot of kills right here. I only got 16 kills. We went 16-3 for a 5.33 KD. Coming in a little bit late to that game and playing awfully slow. As you can see, it led to a beautiful KD. If I could sit here and have 5.0s or better every day, I would take it, but it's not necessarily going to be the highest score per minute. So you just kind of have to pick your poison there. What do you want to do? Do you want to score more, or do you want to have a better KD? A lot of times, though, those things can run hand in hand. Because if you have a great KD and you get through your life and you get score streaks, those score streaks can come out, get you a lot of kills, and drastically increase your score per minute and the amount of kills you get in the games. I don't go on any crazy streaks in either one of these, but, if I die 1 or 2 short, if at any point in time I had lived, 1 or 2 kills longer and got, chopper gunner out, or attack helicopter, I think it's called, could be 5 or 6 more kills chained together. The score goes up, all of that goes up, my streaks go up, and it's a beautiful thing. That's why it's nice to play your life and not always just rush around into every situation. Don't know why the game skipped right there. That's been happening a lot lately when recording on my Elgato, so I may have some settings that I need to figure out on what's going on there. But these mesh mines, it's just protect this path in case somebody comes. I'm going to know, again, that they're coming from there. And it's a common area that people walk, so I'm sure unless someone shoots it out, it's eventually going to get me a kill, even if it's not right away. I see through the wall. I'm running engineer. And I highly suggest running engineer. It's going to highlight pretty much every thing that they can lay down on the map, every score streak, every piece of equipment, all of that is going to be highlighted by running engineer. So I seen that they had attack deploy beacon. That's how I was able to get that kill. I knew somebody was going to spawn there. And I seen the razor wire, so I knew to just push up through the middle of the map instead of wrapping around. And that gets me 2 relatively easy kills right there on those guys by wrapping through that way. That's just a good gunfight at the door, but being aware of the mini-map, knowing that the person was there goes a long way in that situation. My teammates are still spawning back behind the tunnel, so I know the enemy's going to be coming up from this side. And I wanted the secondary gun, and like an idiot, I looked straight down at the ground and went to pick up the gun. Do not do that, guys. Push up and keep your eyes up in case someone's coming if you're trying to pick up a secondary. That way you can either bail if you don't have enough ammo or get your shots off if you do before you get that gun. This play right here, I made some beautiful plays right here, but this guy, I took 20 bullets to kill.
Clean kill.
And this guy, look at this, okay? Going over the car, I played that guy like a fool. There's no way he was going to kill me, and there had to be another person coming. So I probably should have been aware of the other person coming, but that was just not a good situation. I kind of got pinched there, and after I got quite a few kills, I should have backed off from that area because they were still spawning on that side of the map. So I should have just rotated around. So that was kind of a mistake on my part, you know. Got the initial kill set there with the 4-piece, and I should have just backed away and left. But it is what it is. Wrapping around this way, you know, go ahead and get the mesh mines back down in the same place again was my idea, and I had no idea people were going to be spawning behind me. I didn't see the tac deploy beacon, and I should have been aware of that. And that's one thing, the deploy beacons can kind of mess up the spawn situations in this game, and it's hard to tell because I really thought they would be spawning back behind that tunnel area back in the back of the map, and I was incorrect. This play right here, guys, the Tempest, he hits me with a beautiful shot with the Tempest, which I think is overpowered anyway, but he was on the other side of the map, so I was able to back away, get out of line of sight where no one could shoot me, and hope and pray no one came around that corner and live through that. But it is certainly frustrating to get Tempest in this game. You just sit there electrified and just can't do anything for a while. Here, I knew they were coming from that way, so I wanted to stay on this head glitch. And this time to kill in this game made it to where I couldn't get that kill. None of the previous CODs, had I been shooting someone with that many bullets over that distance right there, would they have lived through that. But the time to kill in BO4, you know, they could get around that corner and into that doorway before I could quite get enough bullets into them to get the kill. And there's just not much you can do about that. Maybe be a hair more accurate than I was right there. But that's really all you can do. But the biggest thing I want you to notice, all 3 of these games, if you guys notice, I typically stay in one general area, push when I need to, but I'm staying in lanes and protecting an area for long periods of time and then rotating to the next one, not just rushing around the map. Before we go, I wanted to show you guys my stats in this game, averaging a 1.72 KD with 2,700 damage on Team Deathmatch so far in this game, with a 2.1 overall enemies killed in action ratio, which I think includes like the assist kills or whatever you want to call them in this game. If you guys have any questions about Call of Duty, anything you guys want to know gameplay-wise that I can address in the next video, any tips, anything like that that you guys want to know, drop it in the comments below. I will do my best to answer that in the next video. I will address who asked me the question and answer it for you. As always, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Preach out.